pointing inwards to assemble the lens. Keep the hand in view.
This is our 7th star party in the Isle of Wight, and we're hoping for clear skies because it's been a pretty rubbish record so far. However, we do enjoy coming out here and imaging under the skies, and it's always nice to get together and catch up on news and what's the new kit.
That's a really neat setup that you've got there, Tom.
It's not normally this neat. This is the first time I've actually managed the cables properly.
I've got a scope with me, but today I'm just going to go wide field, 135mm.
Telescope service 80mm, f6.25 native, but I have the Riccardi triplet reducer on it, which I bought mainly for my big scope, which is an APM 107-700, but it also fits this, so this brings this down to about f4.7, something like 4.6. Yep.
But I normally bring the 5-inch scope, 127mm scope, but I'm sort of getting more interested in wide imaging.
I've got a rather nice scope, which is an APM 107-700 triplet refractor. I've got a field flattener on the bottom.
This is my friend Andy Lee's old telescope.
Oh right, oh that's got vintage, that's a lot of history.
A lot of history in that. It's a very nice bit of kit actually, I was always impressed by it.
That's a big mount for a small scope.
Well it is, I don't normally bring my 5-inch scope. This is a 65mm quad refractor.
It looks like you've got Frankenstein's monster on the back.
Yes, this is a camera that David's got, I've got on very, very long-term loan from David Barnard. It's from the JTW Ultimate, I think it's called. So it's all cooled at the back. It's heavily modified, but basically it's a Canon 600D, heavily modified, heavily cooled, and it's so heavily modified that all the standard software doesn't recognise it. The only software that actually recognises it and I can use it with is Backyard EOS. I've tried it with various other ones. What is it? I've got no idea.
The camera on the back is a Central DS 600D2, which is a massively modified Canon 600D with a Peltier two-stage Peltier cooler on it.
I've got a heavily modified Canon 600D, which is from Central DS in South Korea, and it's a CDS 600 II Pro. So it's a one-shot colour camera.
This is a Crux 170, which is a harmonic drive, quite new to the market. It's a field trial, yeah, and just to get a feel for what it's like, how it works. It's a different control system to what I'm used to. I'm interested in the next one down from this, the Mini.
You got one of the new Skywatcher mounts, the AZ-EQ6.
It is. This is working in equatorial mode.
Yep.
But it will also work in Alt-Az.
This is my main rig. This is my Avalon Instruments M Uno, which is, as you can see, rather lovely.
It's gorgeous.
It is, and it's a fabulous mount.
AZ-EQ6, fabulous bit of kit.
I've got a Skywatcher NEQ6 mount, which is the workhorse of most amateur astronomers. That's a very neat little guide scope you've got.
Yeah, it's 130mm f4, so light that it just fits on the top there, and it suits this kit.
And also it gets windy here, so a bigger scope catches more wind.
Hopefully flaming star area.
Tonight I think I'm going to be going for the Andromeda Galaxy. We're going to get clear skies.
Of course.
Heart Nebula maybe, Andromeda Galaxy.
The scope is actually controlled from under here, which is my own cobbled together system. So under here, which you might not be able to see, is a small Intel NUC with 8 gigs of RAM in it and an i5 processor, and that is linked to a small Wi-Fi router, which is a TP-Link Wi-Fi router, and then I control that through TeamViewer wirelessly.
I love your power setup down there.
It's one of these little Power Gorilla lithium polymer batteries, 24 amp hour battery weighing only 0.7 of a kilogram, which just goes into this distribution box which I made with a dew heater this end, and then various different outputs including 5 volts for USB voltage and battery detectors.
You can see this unusual red cage. So I have this fabricated in order to make it easy to come to star parties. So I've got my picture controller here. There's a pellet cooler on the back of the scope. I've got a rig runner for the power distribution. I've got my G-band controller. I've got my electrical focuser. So it makes it very easy to take it out of my observatory, pop it in the car.
drop it down.
Lovely bright sunny day today. Last night turned out to be quite clear. The clouds cleared round about 10 o'clock and we all got out and imaging, but I had an evening that was absolutely plagued with equipment problems. I couldn't get the software to work, I had issues with plate solving, and it went all the way through right until I had a problem with my auto guider, my little ZWO, and it turned out that the connector had been damaged in the camera. Probably when I've had it stored in the observatory, the connector's been knocked. It wouldn't connect to the mount or to the laptop. Luckily I had a spare QHY5 camera and I put that on and I was able to get going round about 3 o'clock, but that gave me just about an hour's worth of guiding and imaging until about 4 o'clock when I called it a night and went to bed. Friday evening and it's heavy cloud. I don't think there'll be any observing tonight. We didn't actually get any astro imaging or observing done last night because it was just so cloudy, but it was a good evening. We stood around and talked, so that was nice to catch up with everyone after so long. It's forecast to rain most of the day, but then there's varying reports of it being clear intermittently overnight, so a lot of people have decided that we're going to pack down. We're going to just do observing tonight, so plain old Mark 1 eyeball. I'm now going to take all the astro imaging gear off my scope and get ready for an evening of visual observing if we get sufficient clear gaps in the sky. The wind keeps swinging round, as you can see from the flag over there. It's now early Sunday morning and the skies are now beautifully clear, although it's really windy. Not much good for imaging, but we're out doing some visual, beautiful view of the double cluster.
Would like to draw your attention.
The thing about star parties is it's quite a bit of work when you have an observatory to take everything down, take it away with you, and then bring it back and set it up again and do all the polar alignments. Great having the pole master, that makes polar alignment very good, and the red cage which you saw on my telescope means I don't have such a huge amount of rewiring to do, so I've got it down to as easy as it could be. Great thing about star parties, apart from the dark sky locations like the Isle of Wight, which is super clear skies when conditions are good, is that you get to hang out with like-minded people. So I went away with a group of friends who I haven't seen for a while. We got to talk about each other's equipment, I learnt a lot of techniques, and we had a few nice evenings down the pub. That trip has whetted my appetite to do some visual observing. If you enjoyed this video and the story of my trip to the Isle of Wight, please leave a like and consider subscribing to my channel.